Hello, WPC friends and family. Here we are again in the kitchen, and we're going to make pretty much what's been in my freezer, my pantry, and my refrigerator. So today, we're going to make cream cheese filled blueberry lemon bread. And I chose that because blueberries are very popular this time of year. They're coming off the vines in the next little bit. I had a few in the freezer, so I thought I would use those. Also, I'd like to mention that you see the name Annie here on my apron. And this is my grandmother's apron. As I was going through some of her things, I found it and I thought I would wear it in honor of her today. So for this cream cheese filled blueberry lemon bread, we're going to start with sugar. Oh, and by the way, the recipe is going to be attached to the video this week. So don't worry about looking at the recipe, or we're not going to zoom in on the recipe or anything like that. So we've got sugar and oil. And this is just regular old canola oil. We're going to whisk those two ingredients together until they're fully incorporated. Into that, we're going to add the eggs. Now, I had an egg earlier that I used the white, so I had an extra yolk. So I just added it into this recipe as well. Sometimes, depending on what you're baking, you can add in an extra egg white or an egg yolk, and it really doesn't alter your recipe too much. And we're going to use plain Greek yogurt. So I'm spooning it right out of the container. What yogurt does is it gives it a lot of extra moisture. Gives you a very moist batter. That little bit of tang and the acids in the yogurt work with the baking powder, I think it's what's in this, and it helps your product to rise. So we're going to mix that in. Make sure everything's smooth and incorporated. Okay. Nice yellow batter there. And next, we're going to get our dry ingredients. We've got flour, baking powder, and salt here. That will be incorporated with the lemon zest. You see the lemon zest there? And I just zested one lemon and just added it right in with my dry ingredients. We're going to combine this put this in here while it's sticking to the side. We're going to combine this and then add it to our liquid mixture. Add that in. Make sure we get all our ingredients out of there. That baking powder is wanting to stick to the bowl. Doesn't want to come out. Now, when you're zesting a lemon, make sure you wash it. And that zest gives your product a heightened lemon flavor. And make sure you're just zesting the yellow and not the white part of your lemon or any citrus fruit. That the white part gives you a bitter taste. So we don't want to do that. Looks like my zest is clumping. Let's see if I can't get that to disperse evenly. So you're not going to have a completely smooth batter because remember you have zest throughout this mixture. And from there, we're going to fold in, got something, lemon juice. That's fresh squeezed lemon juice off that lemon that I zested. And we also have to add a little bit of vanilla. Okay, let's add a little bit of vanilla. My vanilla here is vanilla that I make myself. So I use vanilla beans, and you can use a vodka or you can use a dark rum or a dark liquor. You put your vanilla beans in your liquid, cap it off, and then you'll put it back in the cabinet where it's a little bit dark. And in about a month, you'll have vanilla. Vanilla beans are hard to find and they tend to be a little bit expensive, especially now. Someone told me that there is a vanilla bean shortage in the world because of climate. So they may be a little bit harder to find. So now we're going to fold in our blueberries. And I am going to use all of these that I had in that container. And when I say fold in, you don't want to do another vigorous stir, but you do want to incorporate the blueberries throughout. Now you see that these blueberries have a little bit of juice that has come out of them. That's fine. It's just going to color your lemon bread just a little bit, but that's okay. All right. So in the middle, I'll show you how this is going to be put together in just a second. In the middle, we're going to put in half of this batter, and then we're going to put this cream cheese layer. This is cream cheese, a cup of sugar, and an egg white. That egg white that came from the yolk that I used earlier. So we're going to put half of this in a lightly greased loaf pan, and I've got parchment paper to come out the end so I can lift this loaf out when it comes out of the oven or after it's cooled. So we're going to put half of our batter in, or thereabouts. And this pan really is a little bit bigger than I need because I made the other half earlier so I can show you about the icing. And then we're going to put this cream cheese mixture in the middle. And you just want it to be dispersed evenly. Okay. And then we're going to put the rest of our batter on top. And this is going to go into a 350-degree oven. Now this is a good shareable recipe for those of you that may not need any more than 1 or 2 pieces. You can make these in mini loaves and mini baking utensils. I'll show you here in just a second what I did earlier. So that's going to look a little funky when it comes out, but that'll be okay. So I'm going to put this in a 350-degree oven. Okay, so what I did earlier is I baked some in my mini loaf pan and then my mini bundt pan. And I like to do this when I do zucchini bread or bread like this, and I'll wrap them individually and share them with my friends and family. And if you are a single person, you can cut the recipe in half, put them in mini loaves, or even just in a regular loaf pan, and then cut it in slices and put it in the freezer, and you can take out a slice at a time. This type of bread generally freezes really well. So with these, I'm going to go ahead and ice, and you'll see what the final product looks like. The glaze, I call it icing, but it's glaze, is powdered sugar and lemon juice. Very simple. And it is just drizzled on top. So I'm going to give that a quick stir, and I'm basically going to take this little thing out here and drizzle on. It's easy to do. Same thing with my little mini. And you may not want a whole lot of icing on these because it's not, they're already pretty sweet. So it doesn't take a lot. And I'll cut one down the middle so you can see what that loaf looks like. Let's do this one. So you've got a nice layer in the middle of that cream cheese filling, and you've got blueberries throughout. That's what you want. You want nicely dispersed blueberries. So that's our recipe today, folks. I hope you enjoy it. Go out and find you some fresh blueberries if you can. If you can't, then get you some frozen blueberries. Bon appetit. See you next week.